Right, for those of you that didn't understand it from the title, this is going to be covering the FNIX Rising DLC, so spoiler alert. Okay, so accolades first of all. First of all, I want to thank Reese directly at Wide Gaming. He took the time and the effort, especially in the UK on my time zone, to be able to put out the content early. So really appreciate that. Also want to give a thanks to Phil and Teneverse, who also gave me their take on the DLC, which is very interesting. Three very different game styles. But here's my own. I thought I'd put down a little bit of kind of guidance in terms of three of the challenges that have come within the new DLC. They've also decided to bring level 1 and 2 schematics into base game now, so for those that you want to craft the 3 and 4, you will need them. The completionists out there, the Love Letters and Survivor Notes, are pretty easy enough to obtain. You know, exploring the southern region and the farmlands, you'll find them naturally, but there are guides out there. If you want anything specific to things you're struggling with within the DLC, check out the official forums and look up the community challenge guide done by ASAR. She did a great job. So without further ado, and this I suppose is your last spoiler warning, here's a few tips and tricks for FNIX Rising from me. First thing of all, if you've got rivals on your map like me, I had 64 level 4 prior to this, they can get in the way. If you move your player waypoint nearer to them, to an area you want to get to, sometimes they move to a different point, so bear that in mind. Now, as I mentioned, I have been saving the rivals. You will naturally come across them and you will naturally get caught up with a few. I have had to rebuild a couple of regions, specifically the farmlands and the northern region for some reason. But unfortunately, given the circumstances, accidents do happen, so be prepared to lose a few in the process. Don't worry, obviously you can rebuild them and re-rank them. So back to the challenges. This is music Soothes the Soul. The idea is to distract different tiers of machines without being noticed and blow them up through explosives. What I learnt about this as I went up the tier system, now working on tier 3 with FNIX, is that you must stay hidden in a blind spot, completely out of sight. They cannot see you. If they see you and register you, it won't count. They can register the noise, which you'll see on the marker, but you must stay completely out of view. And I'll cover this shortly. The FNIX were a little bit tricky to obtain, but F23 is where I am here in this little dome northwest of the main exit into the airfield. It's a great spot to kind of drop something in the middle. Here's another great spot for the FNIX, it's Ostervik Industrial. Basically all you do is you plant the explosives on the floor of the door frame there, and then you crawl up to the stairs and you pop it from there after a radio. Great little spot. You sometimes get a few APOC in to bulk it out, and it's also a very good spot for military. So if you need to farm that, just quit your game and fast travel back to it, and they'll all be there waiting for you. Alright, moving on, you've got another little kind of farming spot. This is when you get to the Apocalypse kind of class. For those of you that have got the DLC or familiarise yourself, this is the Tombow to Scan safe house. Simple one really. I started this challenge with 9 Apocalypse, 3 explosives, 1 boombox. The idea here is to wait until you hear them. And then towards the end of the track blow it up. Who wants to hazard a guess? I had 9 to start with. What do you reckon? That's 11 in one go. And then basically if you go northeast of there towards where the tank, where the tank spawns, you can just see the blue crate where it is. If you open that gate there, creep around the back by going north and then east, right around the outskirts. Be careful by the APOC, by the Himful site, but as you can see, I put a fair few there because I wanted to make sure that they were gonna tail off. So, now if I'm not mistaken, I did. So what I did sometimes is I put a tail, which is basically just a couple close to it, just so I've got a really nice 90-degree line of sight. I mean, like I said again, the idea is that you do not want them to see you. They can see and track and kind of alert themselves to the noise, but not you. So if you hide yourself behind a blind spot like this, and I always used to say, well, if I can see a drain pipe, I'm safe. You'll see the proximity, they'll notice the music, but not you. And you can tell they haven't noticed me, because they all go. Now bear in mind, this does happen sometimes. And if you know there are enemies there, you can always fast travel back to a safe house, restock up from your plunger, and give that another go. If you've got the gear, I thoroughly recommend doing exactly the same thing. And I've done exactly the same thing here that I did in the safe house. Just a simple 3 canister setup with a boombox. Keep your distance. Again, complete blind spot, 90 degrees to them, they can't see me. Kind of forces them to that area with me behind them then. And that's all it took. Probably 15 minutes. Moving on to the more fun one. This is obviously Animal 118. Landmine, batteries, explosives. This is Numbing Expert. This is similar to Music Soothes the Soul, but this time the idea is to basically just EMP shock them. It's quite an easy one because they normally naturally do it themselves. That was obviously the FNIX class. Great spot for FNIX, that. Sped up a little bit here just to show you another little setup. I previously had run to this spot and allowed them to kill me. Prior to this though, I had dropped 5 batteries. So I've spawned back to Tarnboda scans. And this is what I call the alleyway. This is the alleyway setup. And as you can see, as we come round, there's a lot of them there. So, exactly like the last time, we use the drain pipe as the blind spot. Keep completely out of sight. Prone as well. Make sure you are prone. It reduces it even further. And as you can see, that took out a lot of them. And they didn't see me, and they still haven't seen me. But yeah, there's a party there, so you know. So yeah, that's the EMP. Again, I mean, the trick here is that it's that grade and above. So technically, if you've got the DLC, you can just come to the spot, just keep farming it, quit the game, come back, quit the game, come back. You could do, but you know. Another cheeky little spot for the APOC, especially on the batteries, is right outside the safe house in the church, northeast safe house of Himful. Exactly the same setup. Nice open space. Use the drain pipe as cover. I did try a few in bushes and buildings, open road. It just doesn't work. It's very picky, and you know, sometimes they detect you and you don't even notice it. Sometimes they detect you and it ruins a 10 canister setup. Best approach, in my opinion, get behind a building, a rock or wall or something where they just can't see you. Get yourself at an acute angle where they're just completely blind. But this one I enjoyed. Yeah, so good farming spot for Apocalypse, that one. On to the ticks and the baseball bat. This one's simple, exactly how I did the last challenge. Get to F23, clear out everything but leave a FNIX hunter. Take out his gun, leaving his only his sword, jump attack, and tick pod. He drops 2 ticks out naturally out of his kind of attack cycle, and you go for it, I suppose. That's 100. I didn't do it all on the airfield. I could do, you know, forest. You know, if I found like a random 3 on an open road, I'd maybe spend 5-10 minutes just doing, you know, 2. But yeah, right. Osile's guide came to the rescue on this one. Check out the forum for the official location. But this is Tamboda Scans east, about 400 meters. Sorry. This is the Eagle Eye achievement. Look up the guide there for the spot. But yeah, great fun. Why you not hit? There you go. Alright, well, that's all from me on the tips and tricks. Hit me up on the channel comments if you need anything kind of further explained in terms of the content and what's in front of you. Anything specific, grab me in the forum. And on that note, I'll leave you to enjoy it.
What is he doing there? Do you understand my mind is not in the scene if you're doing that? Stay off the fucking set, man. For fuck's sake. Right, let's go again. Fucking kick your fucking ass. You know, shut up for a second, all right? I'm gonna go. Do you want me to go fucking trash your lights? Do you want me to fucking trash them? Then why are you trashing my scene? You are trashing my scene. You do it one more fucking time, and I ain't walking on this set if you're still hired. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass.
Sound. Sound speeds. And camera speed.